A cryopod fix is incoming literally in a few days to Ark Survival Ascended. And to be honest, a lot of us have struggled with this since the release of Ark Survival Ascended, and they're finally fixing it. Most of us hoped that they were gonna fix this when Extinction came out, which is basically kind of what they're doing as Extinction is coming out next month. So it's still in the same time frame. But after we saw the addition of the Pyromane and just recently the Dreadmare, a lot of us lost hope that they were going to fix it because, hey, these dinos that they're releasing and making people pay for kind of have the abilities that were taken away when we lost the actual cryopod system that we had from ASE. But now, just because they said it's coming back, they're fixing it, changing it back to how it used to be in ASE, does that mean we just give them a pat on the back and say, hey, good job? But now, if you are a free-to-play player and the only thing you bought was the actual game, don't worry, I'll talk to you guys, but let me get something off my chest. So firstly, we have to look at the fact that they did this. It wasn't a problem before. In ASE, it wasn't a problem, so they made it a problem in ASA. But now their statements are saying they've heard our cries and complaints and they're going to fix it. But it's like, we didn't start crying about this yesterday. We've been crying about it since day one of ASA's release, but it took you almost a full year to fix it? And we've seen this whole cryopod change make caves very hard. It's changed the way people have to PvP and other things along those lines. And it's like, we cried and cried about it, and now you're fixing it, and now you're trying to say, hey, look at this, guys, we listened to you. And then when you think about the whole Fantastic Tames, the Pyromane, the Dreadmare, the Pyromane being able to change sizes, help you get into caves, the Dreadmare now being able to teleport dinos for you like a cryopod. So if you're playing PvP or whatever, you can port dinos over to people's bases and drop gigas on them or whatever. So we thought in our brains, if we paid for these dinos, we get those features back. So the features were taken to us and put behind a paywall. So now you've bought the Pyromane so you can change sizes, get into cave entrances that normal dinos can't get into anymore because people are built outside the caves, or you just can't unpod in a cave because you don't have a cryo fridge. So you got the Pyromane, and now you saw the Dreadmare and you went instantly, I need this because I play PvP. I want to drop dinos on people's bases, or I need to go farm on PvE. People have built right beside all the good spots for all the ores, so I'm going to be able to take my Anki over there and just drop it there. So hey, pay some money, it fixes the issues. That became the new norm, and a lot of people only bought these dinos because they wanted those features, they wanted those quality of life features back that they took from us. So then after all those players who literally bought these creatures solely because of those aspects and those ability, they decide to revert it. So they basically waited until they've reached all their milestones for sales of these creatures just to give back the things that people bought these creatures for. So it's like, I ask you again, do we just give them a pat on the back now? Also, when you think about the fact that they said PvP is being reverted but not fully, so they're kind of running a few tests to see how to make it perfect for PvP, where it's not going to be limiting players too much, or it's not going to be breaking the system too much. This I'm okay with because we want it to be a balanced thing in PvP, because if you get railroaded by a freaking huge tribe and they just keep dropping things on your base and being able to pod, unpod things right at your base, it's very hard to stop raids because you can't soak forever, you can't defend forever. But even in saying that aspect alone is still my biggest eye-opener. If you are doing this now where you are separating it and PvE is back to normal and PvP is changed, why did you not do this now and not from the very start and the very launch of ASA? Why did you not work on it, then release this difference for PvP now instead of before? Because when you think about it, this whole cryopod thing has made maps so laggy because people are pillaring everywhere to drop multiple cryo fridges everywhere just so they can be a mega tribe or be a big tribe. So now starting players can't really start because there's nowhere to build because everyone has 600 pillars and cryo fridges everywhere. Do you think they're going to go back and take away all those pillars? No, they're not. The problem is already here already, and it's not just going to fix by a flick of a switch. So now, the use of FOMO marketing for all these new dinos and basically no communication on plans to fix the cryopods back to the way they were kind of swayed a lot of people to buying these premium DLCs because we didn't know if we were ever getting it back. Now you just made some of their aspects, some of their best aspects, meaningless. They've already nerfed the Pyromane, which a lot of people are mad about because they bought a Bugatti and now they have a freaking Fiesta. What happened there? Now they're nerfing it even more because now your Pyromane isn't just weaker, but it's also not unique to be able to go into caves and get you ahead of the curve. All the things you did and all the things you bought to get ahead of the curve, it's no longer getting you ahead of the curve. And ladies and gentlemen, For everyone who is saying, if you can't buy the premium dinos, you're just a brokey, you just don't want to support the game, you guys are idiots, just buy it. Well, you can't go to caves because you don't have the new premium dino. They got you. How do you feel? After saying all of that and literally abusing people in comment sections, how do you feel now that they've taken away all your premiumness away after you paid? You still paid. And yeah, your edge, the thing you bought to give you that little slight edge on the competition is gone now. Yeah, it means nothing basically. And even when you think about the Dreadmare, if you're not at endgame, you can pay for the Dreadmare, but you're not getting it because the things you need to get a Dreadmare are so hard to collect enough of them. It is just crazy. So basically, you bought dinos that means nothing. Premium DLC is what they're calling them. What bullshit is that? And this is why I always say the Ark player base, we need to stick together. Even if we don't agree on anything, we need to stick together and be able to have conversations where we're not just dismissing the other people. And this is where I'm going to address everyone who's just a base game player. If I wasn't a creator, I'd probably be a base game player. This is one of the best things to happen. They're fixing this. This issue didn't even need to be a thing. And the fact that they're fixing it is, in my opinion, one of the best things to get back, because over time, we're going to see a lot less people server jumping and having to place down little structures here and there to get a cryo fridge out so they can do things, which means less lag, which means people don't have to be as build focused and land claim focused, because a lot of people are claiming land and doing all these things just solely for cryo fridges. And that's why you can't build. But now you will be able to build, because people will be able to go back out there and take down all their little cryo fridge bases so everyone else can get those spaces now. So if you're a base game player, now you can also go to caves. If you have a dino that's super strong but can't fit through the first entrance of a cave but can fit in later down the cave, now you can actually go there with your dino in a pod and unpod it, which is perfect. It's great. It kind of makes it a little bit easier to do those super hard tasks. Even with farming, it's a lot easier to fly over with your wyvern or whatever and then unpod your RG and your Anki, because now you can save yourself 5 to 10 minutes of flying somewhere on an RG carrying an Anki, with now just flying with a wyvern, drop when you land, pod your wyvern, and pop your 2 resource dinos, which is perfect. It saves a lot of time flying over the map with slower creatures just to do things like farming, you know? So in my opinion, it is really, really good that they're changing it back. It was long needed. So finally, we're getting it back. It never needed to be like this. And honestly, I really did think the pay to win content was going to keep continuously giving the edge to players, but apparently not. What is premium when you don't get any premium aspects? Why would people pay for premium things when it doesn't give them the edge on anyone? None of these dinos that they've released so far are giving people the edge on anyone anymore, because everything is going back to normal, which means there's a workaround that's not as hard to do. And the thing is, we know that this is not the end of the Fantastic Tames. They still have more to come out, and I have to ask you, are you willing to spend more money on buying more premium things when things like this are going on before our eyes? And at this point, you know, I'm disappointed, because they're playing their base game players and now they're playing their premium paying multiple payment customers who are paying multiple times for things. And it's like, bruh, we didn't need to do this. Why are you doing this to us? So yeah, although it's good news, it still makes paying customers look like idiots. And we look like clowns now. Like, hey guys, we are clowns. We bought something that means nothing now, but you got a cool dino for $5. Who the hell wants to pay for a new dino for $5? No one! Anyway, let me know your opinions below in the comment section. And don't forget, if you are new here and this is your first time here and you like my opinions, make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.